most people because of his ability to do this. And, the use of force that Obama initiated unilaterally, nobody was complaining about that. Nobody was complaining except for most of America about the pallets of cash sent under the cloak of darkness by Obama. Trump sends B-2 bombers. Obama sends pallets of cash to Iran. And that got us nowhere, right? And what did you say Joe Biden's policy was when dealing with Iran? Don't. That's right. Okay, don't. How'd that work for him?
It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah, so now it's a big sigh of relief for a lot of people, and the silence around the world by especially those neighbors to Iran in the Middle East, their silence speaks volumes about the sigh of relief that they have. Now, Saudi Arabia doesn't have to pursue nuclear weapons themselves because Iran no longer has the ability. We'll see what the total destruction is, if it was complete destruction or enough to set them back decades.
Yeah, and Israel looks like they're going to have some boots on the ground there at some point, if not already, to make sure that regime cannot get back into the facility to check it out. And I know Israel is very curious to see to what extent those processing plants underneath the ground, how much destruction. And so they're looking to verify, because you can guess all you want from above ground, but because they're subterranean, you do have to have some eyes laid on what's going on there. So there's still more news to be had coming out of that event that happened over the weekend, but it does look like it's, for the most part, very good news for the U.S., Israel, and its allies.
And for those who allow Trump to live rent-free in their brains, they're freaking out about his suggestion about regime change. He didn't say that America was going to do anything. You know what? What we did on Saturday, initiating the destruction of their ability to attack anybody in the world with a nuclear weapon, and what Israel has been doing to eliminate their threat to attack them and any of their neighbors, that opens the door with the attack on, as we heard from Eben Brown, on some of the roads to these facilities, the prison, the political prisoner prison. Some of those attacks should open the doors to a regime change initiated by the people of Iran. Trump didn't say that he was going to be part of that. He just said, why wouldn't there be a regime change? The door's been open for it. Go for it.
I haven't seen anything regarding him naming a successor there in person or in a specific group. And there's a big difference in what Trump has done compared to what other predecessors have done. It does not feel like
Trump is using those feelings again,
trying to impose the American will on Iran, but rather an opportunity for Iran to take care of itself once the deck is clear of the oppressive regime.
But again, it's people who allow Trump to live rent-free in their brain with the Trump derangement syndrome. He said, quote, "It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change?" He's not talking about us doing it. He's talking to the people of Iran, you idiots.
So now I've seen on at least one tweet where he's put MIGA, M-I-G-A. 901-683-0989 is our phone number, our text number. Keep that handy because you'll need that between now and 9 o'clock. But in the meantime, let's go to our hotline as we talk to our good friend from the Pacific Legal Foundation. He's an attorney. The organization's 18-2 at the Supreme Court. But in this case, we're going to pick his brain regarding the Constitution because this guy seems to know a thing or two about it. It's our great friend, Mark Miller from Pacific Legal. Mark, thank you for joining us on a Monday. How are you?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Mark, thanks for letting us lean on you one extra day this week. Your check, your petty cash money will be sent out a little later this week. Usually we have you on Thursday morning.
It's heavy on the petty, little on cash.
That's right. So, Mark Miller, all the chatter, constitutionality. We had, we've got some local politicians who are saying, Trump now has interjected us in London, Omar, a state senator from Tennessee, says, I'm deeply alarmed by the U.S. decision to bomb Iran's nuclear sites. She goes on to say that this marks a dangerous escalation. The United States has now entered a war that was previously between Israel and Iran. And this whole thing about he did not do it without our approval. He didn't come to Congress to ask for approval to do this. Should he have?
Because it is heavily divine. It's set up by the Most High Yahweh Shemal Shah that these things was going to happen. All right, so he working on the mind, all right, of the elites. You know, Proverbs, it speaks about how the king's heart, the mind, go back to the Hebrew word live, is in the hands of Yahweh Shemal Shah of the Lord. All right, these devils ain't doing nothing that the Most High not orchestrated them or designed them to do from the beginning. All right, prophecy is being fulfilled. It'll turn us a little more.
And so really going back to the beginning of the country, there's been a debate. You could definitely argue that over the last 75 years, the president has basically won the debate, whether regardless of the party, the president has acted without congressional authority or at the borders of congressional authority. And then sometimes they go back and get it. That's what happens.
Doesn't he have the authority to protect American military and civilians under a threat? And would you, and I guess this is the interpretation, do you consider 45 years of attacks on our military and our civilians around the world by Iran, and there's proof of it in many, many, many instances, that they are a threat to American military personnel and civilians?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely the argument. The president, this is short term. Certainly that's what President Trump wants it to be. Defensive and preemptive. He does not want Iran to have nuclear weapons, because that would be dangerous for the rest of the world and specifically for the United States. Every modern president has followed a similar approach. President Clinton, President Obama, obviously President Trump in his first term. Really going back, even Korea, presidents have acted without congressional authority. Presidents over the last 25 years have tried to use what's called EUMS, an authorization that Congress gave to use the military force to fight terrorism. And so you could argue that what the president is doing here, President Trump is doing here, is fighting terrorism, saying, hey, if Iran gets a dirty bomb, it's a nuclear bomb, that's bad for the United States, so I'm fighting terrorism. And that's what you can do. You can quibble with some of the ways acting on the details, that is letting Congress know there's the War Powers Act from the 1970s that didn't follow the tilt of that law. But, on the other hand, some did the War Powers Act where Congress tried to take back some of their powers to declare war, but that's not constitutional either. It's not going to end up in the court. The courts are going to say, no, this is a debate between Congress and the president, and we're not going to get involved.
I heard you mention, Mark, short-term and preemptive, and also you mentioned the act from the 70s regarding war powers. Are there specific benchmarks that we should know about, as in notification within a certain amount of time, and you said short term, is there a defined number like 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days? In that, are there some hard, fast guidelines? Because it sounds like if this is going to go back and forth between the two different powers of our government, that a good bit of this, it seems a bit hazy.
Well, it's hazy because throughout the country, throughout the country's history, it has been hazy. I can give you many examples going back to the beginning of the country, and the war with the Barbary pirates, and then certainly a little bit in the fight with France, just 10 years into the country's history, that was not declared a war. The War Powers Act, in terms of the notification that you're alluding to, the War Powers Act 1973, which was designed basically to address the fact that Johnson got us into Vietnam.
Daniel 7 chapter.
What we were doing in Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. People thought he wasn't honest about that, and then of course Korea in the 50s. And so it said the president has to notify Congress in 48 hours in case the U.S. armed forces into hostility with military action. Deployment of troops to 60 days unless authorized more. Well, here, how much does that really apply? We're not really, to our knowledge, we're not introducing troops into Iran, although I'd say a little bit scuttlebutt online, so what's true anymore, that he did troops on the ground for dropping the bombs. And then, 48 hours of introducing our forces didn't give notice. Well, he says he did. He said he gave notice to the Republicans. That's one of the quibbles. Traditionally, called Gang of Eight are told, which means top four Republicans, top four Democrats. And argument here is they're going to say they weren't told ahead of time. But again, these are niceties, these are details. This is really political infighting. The bottom line is no one's going to declare it unconstitutional. Been doing this for 75 years, arguably it's been a lot longer. It's always been a controversy that the country has dealt with. And it's not really a partisan controversy, it's more about separation of power.
So the immediate calls for impeachment, let's just slow down, AOC and some of the other Democrats. It's like do a little history, do some education in your history over this before you just immediately call for an impeachment. It's very silly, Mark.
I would say, as an observer for a long time, I'd say, we used to say that we are all Americans once we leave, our shores. In other words, we support the president no matter when it comes to international matters.
Yeah.
And that seems to have been lost, whether it's AOC, whether it's certainly President Trump himself who attacked the way Obama used force or Clinton used force when he was just a developer in New York, a politician. Some point in the past, when we did something militarily across the world, the whole country supported the president. Arguably, you could say there was always debate. The bottom line is, we thought that once we left the shores, we were all Americans. That seems to have been lost, for sure.
That's your point.
I tell you, Mark Miller with Pacific Legal Foundation joins us on Memphis Morning News. And Mark, and I'm sure this is just the beginning. There's a lot of other chatter going on, and probably counter-strike attempts and the Strait of Hormuz. There's so much going on, and this is just the beginning. But one thing that's not just beginning is the great work the Pacific Legal Foundation's been doing. How can folks get in touch with you guys if they have a government overreach issue, which we didn't discuss today, but we do every Thursday with you? If somebody has an issue or they want to help support the cause of the great work you do, how do they do that?
Yeah, look us up at pacificlegal.org. We're not going to sue the president or Congress or what powers, but if you were in a fight with the government over your rights, we would be happy to look at your case and see if we can represent you. Remember that all our clients at no charge, as you said earlier, we're 18-2 at the U.S. Supreme Court. Our goal is to win cases at the U.S. Supreme Court to make life better for Americans.
Mark Miller, Thursday. I think maybe some tariff talk will be in order on Thursday, and talk about some of the other cases as Supreme Court session coming to an end. There's going to be plenty to discuss with you on Thursday morning at 7:35. We appreciate your time, sir.
Talk to you then.
Yeah. 7:20, Tim's Pop Quiz.
Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakadosh. All right, I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, being great example to Israel. All right, my dear elect, I want to say peace and blessings to the hope of the elect on the four corners, pursuing the truth and sincerity. All right, the great song that you brought in the bar. All right, just coming to a little quick, radio station, Edification. It's a good thing that the Lord put the spirit on me too. Have this mindset to play this radio station, because a lot of edification come out, dealing with the topic of war, dealing with the society, dealing with certain things, in the world. So this is just like a heads up, or a look inside of what's going on in the world, which is very important, all right, because the Most High Yahweh have given us, all right, the tools, all right, and giving us, all right, basically a piece to how to put the piece. Gave us a piece to put together to the puzzle. Let me say it like that. All right, because when you go into 2nd Ezra 9 and 1, it said measure the time diligent in itself. So when you start to measure, you start to look at what happened in the world. All right, what's going on in the world. All right, the acting of the people, government, the presidents, and then you start to compare it to what the scriptures, what the Bible has said that in the time that it was going to be like this, what time would it be? You see that? It was going to be what? It's going to be the time of the end. So we got the pieces. We just got to put it together and make a puzzle out of it, so to speak, in the spirit. All right? So you got to continue to look, all right, what's going on in the world, all right, and link it up, all right, with the Holy Scriptures, man. And that will make it make sense. All right? Can you go back to the truth? All right, go back to the Hebrew word amah. Amah means math. So it's all add up. All right, the Most High word is being faith and truth. All right, and you heard what he said, which was our lesson title yesterday. It's a lot going on. All right, it's a lot going on. There's so much going on right now. You really can't really keep up with everything. You see, because there's so much happening over here, so much happening over there. All right, but one thing about it, it's happening. All right, and why is it happening? Because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right, that's why these things are happening the way it's happening. All right, and they're making a big stir out of it. Why? Because the Most High Yahweh is mustering the battle. The Most High Yahweh is going to be prepared to send his only begotten Son to what? To deliver us, all right, out of the hand, all right, of the modern day Pharaoh, which is who? The Edomites. All right, and I want to get into this. This is Joel 3 in Jerusalem, and we're in the making, all right? We're seeing the prophets on the highways and the hedges, prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, all right? Because with this downfall, all right, it's going to bring us what? Our kingdom. That's why the Lord said to bring back the captivity of Jerusalem, all right? To back that up, this is the Lamentations. Very important, because you got to look at it like this. When you look at it as in the destruction of America is the beginning of our kingdom, then you'll want it more. Then you'll understand more, all right? Because that's why the Lord gave us, he said, what? Fret not, for all these things, what must come to pass? But the end is... So like, I don't know why they're doing that reconnection, try to throw the spirit off. But nevertheless, when you go into limitation, right? And that's how you got to look at it. You got to look at it as Esau's downfall is the beginning of our glory. All right? And you can't be a Sambo about it. Because America have built our people mind up. I try to be soft as fuck, man. All right? This is not the time to be soft. This is the time to stand on the Lord's word, and that means stand on business. All right? Because the scriptures say what these devils have done to us, right, they're going to be done unto them. That is true reparation. Don't let these devils trick you, man. All right, thinking that they all love and let's all be one. You Abraham, I'm Abraham. Sing a song. Twirling around in a circle. No. All right, the Most High Yahweh is finna turn back our captivity, man, and it's gonna be through, all right, the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right. It's going to be through the destruction and the downfall of this society. The Lord's going to bring our kingdom. And it's going to be forever and forever and forever. We will never have to be in this fucking hellhole again. We will never have to be in any type of mindset that we have again. We'll never have to worry again. All right. When this place gets destroyed. So you should want that. All right. You want to protest. All right. You want to march. You want to sing. All right, you do it with the truth, man. All right, you do it with the words of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. You stand on business for the Lord's word, because this was going to get us out of here. This was going to get us out of the condition that we in. All right, prophesying, warning our people. All right, singing that new song to usher in the bridegroom, which is Yahweh Shah. All right, but going back into, because I read. Let me go back to that real quick. I read Joel 3:1, right? It says, "For behold, in those days," which we in those days, and at that time, all right, when World War III kick off, all right, it says, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Because I'm going to jump back, because it's going to tell you through war, but I want to get this real quick, all right, because it linked up with understanding that the Most High, all right, said that he's going to give us back, all right, the truth. But this is Lamentations 4:22. it said the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished. See that the punishment, meaning what? When we disobeyed the Most High Yahweh Shema Shah, he said all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. What curses? Deuteronomy 28:15 on down to 68. All right, those curses had overcame us and overtook us, and voila, where we at? All right, what the scripture have said, that we were going to be sold to our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. You go into that word buy, it means redeem. All right, and we only have one redeemer, and that's Yahweh Shah, because through his blood we was able to be brought back into the grace of the Heavenly Father. All right, he the only one could have redeemed us, all right, to bring us back into the grace, because the law can't do it. All right, the law can't do it. Yahweh Shah is the only. So it said the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished. All right, when we came over here, all right, on cargo slave ships, all right, that's fulfillment of Deuteronomy 28:68, man. All right, coming over here, all right, being sold to our enemies. Read it. It ain't no other time in history, all right, that you can go and find somebody else getting sold on auction blocks or getting brought across, all right, water on ships. Who that happened to? Well, it happened to the Africans, brother. Those are Africans. No, they are Israelites. All right, because you can tie their history into what? To the Bible. All right, you're like, damn. All right, but you don't have faith, then how can you believe? You don't have eyes to see it. You ain't got ears to hear it. All right, but it's plain. This whole time we think we Africans. Is any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue. It said the children of Israel. All right, you're going to see how we not no motherfucking Africans, man. But we've been told this lie this whole time that we've been raised up in this society. Going to school since fucking preschool, daycare. I can start at daycare. You know, daycare all the way up to the 12th grade. All right, we've been told this fucking lie that we was African Americans, man. Mainly Africans. All right, this whole time we've been lied to, bamboozled, hit across the head, you know. But now, coming to the truth, we start to get the true understanding of who we are. You see that? The Lord have given us the spirit to know, okay, then we are Israelites. You know, everything that the Bible speaks, it fit us. You know? So here it is. It said Exodus 11:7. It said, but against any of the children of Israel should not a dog move his tongue. And it's speaking about the nation. The nations are considered dogs, man. All right, and it said against man or beast, that ye may know. All right, and you got to know this. Start to see these stank ass Africans, you know what I'm saying? Just look at them. You can say, nah, he can't. See, it's trying to make me stop. No, that's the Prince of Power of the Earth trying to make me stop. But yeah, when you go into the Compact Bible Dictionary, it give you the lineage of Ham. See, Shem ain't in there. But they tell you in the Compact Bible Dictionary, when you look up under the word Ham, it said the progenitor of the dog races, but not the Negroes. All right? They the progenitor of the dog races, but they not the Negroes. Why? Because the Negroes are Israelites. This Baruch 4:6, all right, it says, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. How did we do that? All right, how did we move the Most High to wrath? All right, when we disobey him, all right, by taking on the custom of the heathens. All right, Deuteronomy 28 fell right in place. All right, 15 on down, because he gave us from 1 to 15. If we do right, we're going to receive all these blessings. All right, but what Israel do? They chose to do wrong. All right, we moved the Most High to wrath, so therefore he had to stand on his word. All right, he had to stand on his word. Oh, y'all, okay, y'all don't want to keep my covenant? Okay, oh, y'all want to do this? Boom, there we go. All right, so ye were sold to the nations, not for your discretion, because he didn't send us here to kill us off. This a punishment. All right, and that punishment is what? It's accomplished. All right, we got the Holy Spirit. We got this word. We got the name back. All right, we got everything that we need. All right, to be delivered and get back into the grace of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. We got everything back, man. Revelation 11:11. All right, it says after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life shall enter to them. And their spirit is the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. We break it down. I know, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you like say you go through that 350 years, you know, it's the portion of 1619, 1620, all right, to 19, you know, it's around about the 60s, you know, late 60s. All right, that's the 350 years period. All right, and guess what? The spirit of life entered to the earth, man. All right, so the Lord then, you know, sent us here to get destroyed, but he sent us to correct us, man. All right, and prep us to get what? To come back into him. Through who? Through Yahweh Shah, not the law. That's why the law is going to be written in our inner parts. All right, but it's through Yahweh Shah, faith in Yahweh Shah, to be delivered and coming to that new covenant. But this is Baruch 4:6. It said, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High Yahweh to wrath, ye were delivered unto your enemies. And you want to know our enemies? Psalms the 83rd chapter. All right, they give you the whole rundown, all right, of our enemies, man. Start with who? The so-called white man, Esau Edom. All right, so let's go back into Lamentation one more time, and then go back to Joel. So this is Lamentations 4:22. It said the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished. All right, it's accomplished. We made it. We made it, you know? Yeah, so the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished. O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. You see that? This is the last punishment. All right? This is the last ride of being oppressed, depressed, and suppressed. This it. All right, this is. He said he had no more carry thee away into captivity. So where are we going? All right, the kingdom of heaven. That is set up for us, Israel, and no one else. Even though they're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, but they're not gonna be in the status of Israel or Israelites, man. All right, the way that we on the bottom, you know, we suck down, you know, our necks are under persecution. All right, that's gonna be the way the heathens are going to be in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, it's going to be a transition of power. All right, and guess what? Deuteronomy 30:7 say this. If you think I'm lying, you can't imagine it, you can't fabric in your head. Picture this right here, Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh, all right, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies." You see that? So all the curses that we went through is going to go upon who? All our enemies. And go back to our enemies, Psalms the 83rd chapter. All right? The Lord finna bring hell upon them. You think that what we went through was something? What they finna go through, because it's written double. All right? Double, man. These nations got to feel the wrath double. All right? But it says, "And the Lord Yahweh, thy power put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." You see that? All thy enemies, man. And what's gonna happen? All them that hate thee and persecuted thee, they gonna feel the wrath of the Lord, man. They're gonna have to suffer the same hardship we suffer, but double. Okay? So let's go back into finish it off in Lamentations. So it said, the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. You see that? We ain't going into captivity no more after this. That's why when you go back to Joel, the 3rd chapter, which I'm going to get, he said, what? In that time will I bring back the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. This World War III is going to end everything. All right? This is what Yahweh Shema Shah coming to do. He coming to destroy and to deliver, all right? He coming to destroy and he coming to deliver. Or should I put it, he coming to deliver and he coming to destroy, all right? Because the elect gonna be beamed up before America become that lake of fire. So I put it that way. He coming to deliver and and he coming to destroy. All right. And it says, O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. Now check this out. He coming to what? He coming to deliver and destroy. It says he will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will visit. All right. When you visit someone, you go see him. All right. When you visit someone, you go see him, right? So the Most High Yahweh, all right, Yahweh Shai been to visit, come see Esau. All right. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. See, this is what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai coming to do. That's cold. All right. That's cold there. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to get that Isaiah, and then I'm going to get that, and I'll close it out. This Isaiah 63, just to show you how he say he going to visit Edom. Now, this is Isaiah 63 and 1. It said, who is this that coming from Edom? Who going to visit Edom? Yahweh Shema Shai. With thy garment from Bozrah. All right? And it got a question mark. It's so because that dyed garment going to representation of that bloodshed that it's going to be. Because it's going to be a lot of niggas dying. All right? These nations, it's going down. All right? And it said that its glory and its apparel, traveling in its greatness of his strength, I that speak righteous, mighty to save. And that's what his name means, right? He saved. He is salvation. He is the deliverer. All right? Because through Yahweh Shai, salvation is come. All right? So let's read it again. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garment from Bozrah? You see that? And who is Bozrah? Bozrah was the chief city in Edom. Look it up. All right? Look up Bozrah. It's going to tell you it's dealing with Edom. And we understand Edom is the so-called white people. All right? And then it says, and this in glory and its apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, because he come with all power. He said, I will not meet thee as a man. All right? So he coming back in that angelic force, all right, coming to bring hell upon the earth. That's why I said traveling in the greatness of his strength, because he got the angels with him, all right, but he got all power. All right? That speaking righteous, mighty to save. All right? And it says, wherefore art thou red and thy apparel and thy garment like him that treaded in the wine fat. That's why that dyed garment was symbolic spoken of. All right? Because when he come to put all rule and authority on earth. And he not going to stop until he have done that. All right? So guess what? A lot of people going to die. A lot of people gonna get hewed down. A lot of people gonna get zapped, all right, by them chariots. All right, this is the war in heaven. All right, you speaking about the war in heaven. This is the war in heaven, man. All right, when these nations, all right, come together and fight against Yahweh Shema Shai. It's written in the 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right, but guess what? When you watch that movie, the Independence Day. You know, remember they went against the so-called aliens, which they are brothers, they the angels, but they went against the aliens. But what happened in that movie? They won. They defeated the aliens. All right, but when you read in the scriptures, because that's what they got it from. But when you read in the scriptures, hey, the Most High Yahweh prevail, Yahweh Shai prevail. It's not written that Esau is going to win. All right, it's written he to lose and lose horribly. All right, because the Lord have given him his reign. All right, the Lord have given him his reign. That's why it's written in Job 14:5. Job 14:5 said what? Let me get it. This Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. See that? The Most High have given Esau a particular time to rule, and guess what? He can't go past that mark. All right, and we're in that time that his system is going down. Why? Because he almost at that mark. You see that? The Most High Yahweh said, measure how he measured the time, number how he numbered the time, but he will not move nor stir till that set measure be fulfilled. All right, so we in the time that Esau almost there at his peak. All right, and the Lord gonna cast him down with the fear of his wrath. That's where we at. So you go back to Isaiah 63 and 3, it says, I have trodden the winepress alone. All right, and all of the people, there was none with me. For I tread them in my anger. The Most High Yahweh Shema Shah is angry, man. All right, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. You see that? All right, and metaphorically speaking, that means a lot of people gonna die. All right, it's like this slang. It let you know. You can read between the lines. Read between the lines, man. You know exactly what he's saying. All right, death is on the table. Because when you go into Exodus 15:3, it said the Most High Yahweh is a man of war. All right, and you go into that word, break down that word war, it goes to action and bloodshed, man. And that's what the Lord about. He about that action. All right, he about that bloodshed. But ultimately, because it's his judgment. All right, but here it is, verse 4. It says, for the day of vengeance is in my heart. And what is vengeance? Payback. And the year of my redeem is come. And we're in that time because Esau is in his power seat. All right, doing that the scripture has said he would do. All right, going forth with what? With that device. All right, and when he set that device up, all right, that's going to be the counter punch for the Lord to bring the destruction. All right, so it all lines up, going right back to Joel, because that's why I want to end it on Joel, because that's why it all makes sense right here. Look, it said, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. You see that? Remember, we're not going back to captivity after this. After this war right here is over with. This is the war to end all wars. All right? But it's got to happen this way. It's got to happen this way. Because just like, like Thomas might like to say, art imitates life. So you just got like, your cousin or something like that, or your friends at school, they've been arguing all fucking week. So Friday, really, when they get to fighting Friday, it's gonna calm everything down. All right, same thing. All right, just look at it through the spirit. You see, this war right here is going to end all wars. Not going to be no war anymore. And it's written. You see this play out in real times. Dealing with people in the world, they talking shit back and forth. You saying this, she saying that, or he saying this, he's saying that. All right, then y'all get the jacking. All right, then get what? Ain't nobody saying nothing. It's over with. But I'm speaking, especially back in the old days, not now, because nigga gonna shoot your ass. Nigga ain't even fighting no more. But, back in the old days, that's how it used to go down. Yeah, y'all beefing, but then after that, it's squashed. You see? So the Yahweh Shema Shah can come and squash everything. All right? He gonna put the rule, all right, down. So this is Joel 3:2. It says, and I will also gather all nations. You see that? And will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them for my people and my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nation and parted my land. And who parted the land? All right, who parted the land? Edom. All right, you got the Palestinians over there too, but Edom, they gonna get it. All right, the Lord is finna visit them, man, and that's why you're seeing what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. You're seeing what's going on now with Israel and Iran. Israel, what they doing to the Palestinians, it's going down. It's so much going on. It's so much going on. All right, but we're at that time that the Lord finna bring back the captivity. So we got to continue to watch, well, let's pray, or that we be counting the word to escape, man, because it's finna go down. All right, so Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters edified, once again, and throughout it for y'all brothers and sisters for the comments, precepts. So Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters edified. Next time, Shalom, Abba, Barak Ha'akim. All right, and may the Lord team bless y'all morning. All right.